The next gentleman on the stage is Iain Grant. Iain is from Shoei Crash Helmets. Great knowledge. Prove me wrong. Come up to me later on and tell me you didn't learn something from this guy. So he's going to talk about helmets, helmet care, and PPE in general. So thanks, Iain Grant.
That'll be the only round of applause I get. Thank you very much. Thanks for everyone coming out tonight. I know it's cold, it's horrible out there, it's freezing, but thank you. Can I ask who has ridden here tonight? Okay, thank you. Now see if I've got this the right way around. What am I pointing at, guys? There we go. Just some of the Shoei helmets. Just a quick insight into Shoei helmets. People complain about the price of Shoei helmets. Every Shoei helmet is handmade. There's 58 pairs of hands touch one Shoei helmet. It takes a week to make one helmet. What goes into them is why they're the price they are. I'm going to give you some good and bad practice. How to look after your helmet. I'm not talking about looking after a Shoei helmet. This applies across any brand. So it's how you care for your helmet and how you disrespect your helmet, shall we say. So I will go back to those folks. If you look at that, don't ever do that, guys. Don't ever. That wrecks your helmet. If you're going to put it over your mirrors, open your visor, slide it over your mirror. Do not hang it on the mirror. The worst culprits of doing things like that, they're up the back, the police. They hang them on their blue lights. That damages your EPS liner, which is inside your helmet. Once that's damaged, it becomes ineffective. It's not going to do the job it's designed to do. So that part needs to be taken care of. Don't do that with your helmets. Those that rode here who's got their gloves inside their helmet? Yeah, take them out. Okay, don't ever store your gloves inside your helmet. You're out riding, your hands are exposed. What are your hands getting covered in? They're covered in crap, all sorts of road detritus, dead things. You don't know what's coming up onto your hands. You're putting them in your helmet. You've taken your helmet off, you've put your gloves in, you're putting all that stuff into a warm environment. That damages the inside of your helmet. So don't put your gloves in. Do not put wet gloves in it either. You know, if your gloves are wet, never put them in your helmet. When you've finished your ride for the day, don't put your helmet away until you've cleaned it. That's externally and internally. The internal can just be a wipe with a baby wipe or something. That's absolutely fine. On the external side of it, warm soapy water. That's all you need to clean it. But clean all the dead things off it. If your visor is covered in dead things, a wet cloth, just put that over it, leave it over it for a while, take it away, all the dead things will come off. It'll prolong the life of your visor. Leaving the inside of your helmet wet, again, don't do that. Don't store it away until you've let it dry, but let it dry naturally. I have seen people turning up with helmets and the EPS liner has melted inside because they've used a hairdryer to dry it. They've been out on a wet day, the helmets get wet because it's been hanging upside down or whatever. They've used a hairdryer, ruined their helmet. Don't ever use heat to dry the inside of your helmet. So don't stick it on a radiator either. There's rubber seals around the bottom of your helmet. Again, they will get damaged if they fall off. Not good. You can get them replaced, but not all manufacturers will replace them for you. I see a lot of this when I'm out and about. People have been out for a ride and they've got a helmet lock and they stick it on next to their exhaust off, hang it off a foot peg next to their exhaust. There's heat going into the helmet. That's not doing it any good. So again, keep all heat away from the helmet. Always look at the age of your helmet. With Shoei, we give a 5-year warranty. We will service a helmet up to 6 years old. Anything more than that, we won't touch. Because we don't know what's going on with that. You can tell from the inside of most helmets what age it is. All Shoeis come with a date of birth. So you know when it was produced, when it was finished. So you can see that. Best way to tell if your helmet is not going to function properly is to press your EPS liner. Now your EPS liner is a polystyrene inside the helmet. With polystyrene, if you push it and it's fresh, it will spring back. If it's not fresh, the dent will stay. If it's dried out, it will sound like a Rice Krispie because it will just be breaking. So check that. Very, very important you check your EPS liner. Other thing with the inside of your helmet is just make sure it's clean at all times. Don't leave anything in it. Even if it's your neck tube, just don't leave anything in it. I know it's awkward with the gloves because you've got to carry them. Where do I put them? Think about what's going on here. That's your lifesaver. That's the thing you need to look after most. And it goes, as I say, for all brands. The good part, the bit that makes life that bit easier for you. Clean it after use. I know it was on the previous bit, but clean your helmet after use. Clean your visor after use. Again, don't put it away dirty. It will deteriorate the visor, especially if it's a dark visor. It can start to affect, and then you start scraping things off it, which you can scratch your visor. Do we all know what the silicone oil is for when we buy a helmet and we get it in the box? Probably can't see that. You get a little tube of silicone oil with a number of helmets. That's for the rubber seal round your visor on the helmet. If you do not use that, that will dry out. Your visor will catch on it, and then you get either the visor not closing properly, you get water ingress, and the visor can get out of shape. So you use that on a regular basis. You just put a dab on, run it with your finger, or running it with a cotton bud right round. Take the visor off before using it because you don't want to get oil on the inside of your visor. But do that, and then just leave it to soak in. Clear your air vents. Again, none of us do that, but a cotton bud or a low pressure, very low pressure air line to blow anything out, because things get inside there. They get in at the front. If you don't clean that, they're going in your mouth if you're not wearing a neck tube, and you don't want a dead bee sticking in your mouth. So clean that, clean the top vents as well. Remove your liners. Most helmets have removable liners. Take them out and wash them. Put them in a pillowcase, put them in a very gentle wash, very little detergent, and put them through a wash. Two things that you'll get from that: it'll smell nice the next time you put the helmet on, but it also plumps all the liners up as well, so the helmet feels a much better fit for you. So that's just something else to do as well. If your visor's scratched, don't, oh, sorry, I can see it, sorry. No, replace it. You get caught in the rain, cars coming towards you, all of a sudden you've got this bit you can't see out. Replace your scratched visor. Other thing to do is replace your pin lock on a yearly basis. It's a silicone seal round it, can dry out, it can warp, it can leak, and then you get it misting up on the inside. So replace your pin lock as well. There's different standards of pin locks that you can get. Always go for the highest standard. That gives you better longevity in terms of how long it's going to last you. Get your helmet serviced. A number of retailers throughout Scotland will service various helmets. Shoei retailers all sign up to service helmets. So if you take your helmet into a Shoei retailer, they'll do a free of charge service for you, providing it's less than 6 years old. Anything older than that, they won't touch. They'll advise you to get rid of it. Turn it into a flower pot when it gets to that age. So that's what to do. Other thing with inside the helmet, your EPS liner, in a Shoei, in an RI, and other brands, it's black inside it. If that has starfishes in it or snowflakes, that tells you that the helmet's damaged somewhere. There's been an impact. You might have dropped it. It might have been a really hard stone chip. You know, you've been hurtling along and a big stone's hit you. That's went through the helmet. That can compromise the integrity of the helmet. So just think of these things. Have a look for these things, especially if you have had a bit of a knock on the top. All righty. Make sure that your helmet fits you properly. A big one. A lot of people buy a helmet. That'll do. No. We can get a new arm if we fall off the bike. We can get a new leg. Can I get a new one of these? You have to get the right fitting helmet. Shoei now do a thing called PFS, which is Personal Fit System, where you get the helmet customized to fit your head. So your pal's a medium, you're a medium. You get it customized, it will not fit him. It will be horrible on his head because it's customized to your head. So never just buy a helmet for the sake of it. That will fit because it's going to cause you problems. It's a distraction when you're out on the road. You're fiddling, you're moving it. Just make sure you get it fitted. There are 2 retailers in Scotland that currently do the PFS. One's in Aberdeen, one's in Linwood. If you want to get that service, contact Shirley's or contact Stirling Power Sports, and they will offer that service. You can get your helmets retrofitted. So if you have an EOTech 2 or a GTR 2, they can be done as well. It's not just the new helmets. So you can get that done as well. Finally, onto your clothing. Now, your helmet is the only part that we have to legally wear when we're out on the road. You can go out in jeans and t-shirt and trainers. You know, we all started off wearing a pair of Levi's, a pair of Sambas and a bomber jacket. For certain members of the audience who are the same age as myself, we've now progressed and PPE has come along. You have to have CE certified clothing now if you're buying from a motorcycle retailer. There's 3 levels to it. There's AAA, which is the top, AA, and then A. And what they mean is how fast they will remain intact and protecting you in the event of you sliding down the road. So for instance, if it's A rated, after 30 mile an hour, it's burning holes in it. If it's AA, you're then 47 mile an hour and it's burning holes in it. If you're AAA, you're 79 miles an hour and then it's burning big holes in it. So that's what these are for, and they cover certain areas of your clothing as well. So that's something to bear in mind when, if you're looking online for clothing and it's, brilliant price, not all clothing comes CE certified because there's a lot of fakes out there. Make sure it's CE certified. It's the same with your boots, same with your gloves, same with your trousers. Check all these things, guys, because nobody likes a bit of road rash. We all know it hurts. We've all been down the road at some point. It's painful. If you can protect that and protect the rest of us, we'll get a lot more time out on the bike and a lot more fun. Now we're going to have a break, but we might have some questions first of all, if anybody's got any. You've got Shirley's in Aberdeen or Stirling's Power Sports, who are in Linwood in Glasgow.
Can I just add, I've had that done to one of my helmets. It's absolutely phenomenal. 2-year-old helmet, got the fitting done, like a brand new lid, better than it ever was new.
Just going back about servicing the helmet, how does that work exactly? Do Shoei take the helmet and replace parts and present you with a bill that needs replaced?
No, it's a free of charge service. What you do is, for instance, if you had your helmet here tonight, I've got my service kit, so I could give your helmet a service. Basically, what you're doing is just checking the integrity of the helmet. First thing we do is check the date of the helmet, the age of it, and then we decide if we're going to service it or not. Because I'm writing out a service certificate to you, and I ain't giving you a service certificate if your helmet's out of date. But then we will check all the padding, make sure it's all secure, clean it, check the visor, check. We can adjust the visor as well if it's slightly out of line. One of the things that a lot of people do when they're pulling their visor down is they'll either pull it down from the side, and what that does over time is it puts a bit of extra strain on here and knocks your visor out of kilter ever so slightly, so we can pull it back into shape for you. So always pull your visor down from the top, middle. But servicing's free of charge, and the show retailers will look after it for you. One more question? No? Oh. Yes. Mm-hmm. The helmet has a lifespan of 5 years. We give a helmet 5 years. Now, if a helmet has the 9th of September 2021 on it, okay, that's when it was born in Japan. It takes 4 months to get to us from Japan. So then we're into 2025. So then we can look at being 2030 before. But that's your 5 years. As you then get into the 6th year, we are then recommending that you change your helmet. We're not saying buy a new Shoei. We never say to anybody going back, you need to buy a new Shoei. You need to buy a new helmet when it gets to a certain age. But we can tell from servicing it what it's like inside when you do the checking the EPS, whether it's cracking or whether it's not springing back to you, and what sort of state the internals are. The EPS liner, which is polystyrene, that dries out. Polystyrene dries out over a period of time, and it will dry out depending on how depending on how you're storing it. Speaking to a gentleman last night, he's like, my helmet, it's a bit, smells funny. Do you keep it in your shed? Aye, right. Freezing cold just now, then it warms up, so that affects it as well. Big changes in temperature. It's always best to keep your helmet inside, and not in a warm cupboard, but in a place that's an even temperature. So that's what happens, it just dries out.
I told you that you'd go away having learned something. I must remember to take the gloves out of my helmet when I go home. Thanks very much, Iain. Wonderful.